don't go into business trying to please everyone. Understand that everyone is not your customer.
Yes.
And that's okay. There'll be moments where you go into business expecting to reach a certain market.
Yes.
And then you get surprised and you got these other people responding to you,
Yeah.
Run with that. It's okay. And take your time. Even as a hairstylist, right? Which I just won Best Hairstylist.
I saw that.
2024.
Congratulations. I saw you.
For
I saw
Neighborhood
that.
Awards. A person could look and say, well, she's not the best. I'm the best, But in service-based business, it's a collective, right? So it's the talent you have to provide the service. It's the customer service. It's the experience you're giving your customers when they're coming in.
Yes.
And to keep those things in mind in a
Yes.
service-based business.
Welcome back to the She Inspires podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jade, board certified family medicine physician, wellness and weight loss specialist, owner of the membership practice in Las Vegas, Inspire Primary Care. And I am so excited about today's topic and today's guest, y'all. You are in for a treat. We have a special guest in the studio, but let's tell you the topic. Today, we are talking about business, marriage, and wellness. Some things y'all ask me about all the time. I'm so excited to get my friend's perspective on this. Welcome to the podcast, Cabria Patterson.
Thank you for having me, Miss Jade. That was beautiful.
I'm so excited. Okay, so we have known each other since we were kids. Fun fact. All right, I'm going to put her on the spot with this one. I didn't tell her I was going to ask this, but can you share, what was I like when I was younger? And don't embarrass me, but don't embarrass me. What's a fond childhood memory you have of us back in the day?
Well, let me just say, you've always had boss energy.
Okay.
Yep, you've always had boss energy. I remember you were on the dance team. You like to dance a lot.
Yes, dance and cheer.
And dance and cheer. And you've always been ambitious.
Yes.
Yeah, but fun. Ambitious and fun. And you were able to get along with a nice variety of personalities too.
Okay.
So.
Oh, she gave y'all the camera answer. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
No, I appreciate that. Okay, so I wondered that. I was like, man, what was I like back in the day? I don't even remember. But tell the She Inspires fam who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, I'm Cabria Patterson. I am an entrepreneur. I own a salon, a natural hair care line. I'm a wife. I'm a comedian. I'm into real estate. And I just love challenging myself. We one and the same like that. Very ambitious. Born and raised in Las Vegas. And I don't know. What else you want to know?
We're going to dig into a lot of those components
Okay.
you just mentioned. And what I love is you are a light. Like, I love being around you. There are certain people where you come away from them drained, and there are certain people you come away from them like fired up, refilled, and you just are good vibes, good people. And I love just seeing you shine. I love seeing you grow, your businesses grow, your life with your husband grow. Like, I'm just... Thank you. Here, just like praising God for you. So, okay, let's start with this. You are a community leader in Las Vegas. Like, people in Vegas, it's almost like if Cabria says it, then okay, then it must be good. Like, if she mentions it, if she refers it, then it must be good. Like, you have that type of reputation, which is not easy to earn. Okay. I like to say, and a lot of people say that Vegas is a little big city. Like, if you are on point, everybody knows. And if you fall off or are unprofessional, that spreads like wildfire too. So you're an incredible community leader in Las Vegas. You're a phenomenal business owner. You have grown now both a successful service-based and product-based businesses and real estate. So tell us about the journey specifically. Let's start with your journey.
I would definitely say don't go into business trying to please everyone. Understand that everyone is not your customer.
Yes.
And that's okay. And there'll be moments where you go into business expecting to reach a certain market.
Yes.
And then you get surprised and you got these other people responding to you,
Yeah.
Run with that. It's okay. And take your time. Take your time. Even as a hairstylist, right? Which I just won Best Hairstylist.
I saw that.
2024.
Congratulations. I saw you.
For
I saw
Neighborhood
that.
Awards.
Congratulations.
And so, a person could look and say, well, she's not the best. I'm the best, But in service-based business, it's a collective, right? So it's the talent you have to provide the service. It's the customer service. It's the experience you're giving your customers when they're coming in.
Yes.
And to keep those things in mind in a
Yes.
service-based business.
And the professionalism, because you are so professional. And those are pieces that people forget about. It's not just being an expert and being able to fry, dye, lay to the side some hair. I mean, I know that's not what you do. It's natural hair, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just the level of expertise. There's so many other aspects of business that makes it the best business.
Correct.
And so congratulations on winning that.
Thank you.
All right. So service-based business, check. You have grown that. We were patient. We took our time. All right. What are some mistakes you've seen some other beauty business industry professionals make? Because I've noticed a lot of people may be really talented, but their business does not become successful. And I think there are some pearls to gain from that. What are some things that you've noticed?
I would say making sure you are, like I said, giving your customers an experience, but on the patient's end, it's a constant hustle. It's a constant grind. It's a constant pitch, right, to your customers, getting them through the doors. And so don't go into business thinking you can set a timeline, right? We like to set timelines. But if you don't quite reach it, just be okay with that. Don't quit. Like you said, they go from one business to the next because now they're giving up on this. Well, now you got to start in this one.
Yes.
And just have patience. And for me, right, pricing becomes a thing in hair, right?
Yes.
So, there were times where, I'm still trying to pay my bills, but then someone wants a cheaper price.
Right.
But I have to keep my standard, right?
Yep.
And so you got to stick to what you're going for, the market you're going for. And I had to say, no, I charge more than that.
Yeah.
And just be able to walk away. Every customer isn't yours.
Yeah, that's really good. And you'll hear a lot of debate on this as far as, I'll hear some business books say that if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one, or you should have your ideal avatar in mind, right? Or you should niche down. And then you hear some people say the opposite. And so what have you found that has worked best for you when it comes to, pricing and clientele type, and if you have an avatar in mind?
I would say be clear on what your worth is. Be aware of that. I don't charge the prices now that I charged when I first started out. I don't charge the prices now that I charged when I was working out of my house,
Right.
So just be aware of the market and be aware of your talents at the same time. And, be fair. I think I have good integrity, when it comes to my price-based business and my customers. So I don't really follow the cookie cutter form, I follow my own way.
Right.
What makes me feel good.
Absolutely. And what makes sense for your clients and the way you're leveling up your business. I like what you mentioned there is because I'll hear all the time, it's very trendy to say, ooh, the price is going up. The price is going up. But I'll be like, but is the quality going up? And so I love that you're talking about, okay, well, this was the price point when I was in college. Okay. This was the price point when I was working out of my house. Well, this is the price point now that I have certain licenses and I'm in an established business. This is the price now that we've scaled the business to this nicer office space or salon space. Right. And so, yes, price will reflect quality, but also when some people are just inflating their price and the quality has not improved,
Agreed.
I'm like, we can't just blame inflation. Like there has to be a quality improvement as well. So I love that you mentioned that. Okay. So service-based business, I love talking about that because we have Inspire Primary Care, which is a service-based business, but I love that you have tapped into the product-based business. Yes. I feel like I dipped my baby toe into the product-based business space, with our children's books. You can call me Queen and you can call me King, our empowerment children's books. That is my taste of product-based businesses. I have other products I have in mind for the future. So I really want to get your journey on transitioning from service-based business and now diving head first into an amazing product-based business line. Tell me about that journey.
Yes. So, oh my goodness, service-based business is very challenging because it requires you to run.
Yes.
Right. So your energy, everything. It requires your mind to be in the right place, protecting your energy, and being able to get along with so many different personalities if you're going to run a business. What I love about the product-based business is, I mean, how many products have you purchased and you don't even know who the owner is?
Yeah.
You don't
or you
care.
think somebody's the owner and you find out, oh, that's not the owner.
You just want the good product.
Right.
And so I love that in the product-based business, I don't have to be the face of my business. Starting in the beginning, it's that grind to do that. But eventually, you're not going to see me in the post. You're going to see my customers in the post.
Yeah.
And it allows the freedom to not have to put so much physical labor in it and show up as the person, who's like a service-based business. People care about, well, how is she? Well, how's she going to treat me? How's her customer service? So product-based business is dope. I got into it because, like anybody else in service-based business, you can't do it forever. At least you don't want to, right? You want to scale to where you can hire other people to do it and you can just kind of relax.
Right.
And so I started Love Your Roots hair care because I also saw a need in the Black community for Black women. We have to show up for events like this, and we can't always manage our hair like we want, or the time management. And so I wanted to create a product that my customers could rely on, because eventually I am going to transition out of the service part. So I want to leave them with products. And I also have an ebook on how to take care of your hair, so I love it. I love it.
So tell us about how, because people may be listening and they'll be like, well, that sounds great to transition out the service-based into product-based.
Yeah.
But, you told me that it took time to develop that. Like, there's a lot of sweat equity on the front end, right? You worked with chemists and there was a whole process, and people may be listening and being like, I would like to, or at least like to explore that option, but I have no idea where to start. What recommendations would you have?
I'm gonna give the people a little game. Okay. All right. Some people would charge you for this, but when it comes to products, from the blouse you're wearing right now to the shoes we're wearing to the water we drink, you can get white label or private label products. Okay.
Write that down. White label.
Or private label. Okay. And so that is, maybe somebody has already created a vitamin or a supplement, but they license it to you so that you can put your brand on it and sell the products, right? And so you look for those vendors. What I did is, mine was from scratch.
Yes.
So mine took more money and investment because I just wanted to own everything outright, including the ingredients. That does cost a little more money, but you don't have to start like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people start with the white label brands. They blow it up. And then behind the scenes, they create their own formula and they transition the customer. You ever notice you're using a product and you're like, dang, it changed.
It's a little bit different.
It used to be, they've transitioned. They just didn't tell you.
And it could be for the good or the bad.
It can be for the good or it can be for the bad.
Right.
And so what I did during a little before the pandemic is I was talking to a client who's also a physician, and I know she had her, chemistry degree. I said, can you help me mix these products? And she said, I can't, but I know someone who can.
Yes.
And I reached out to that company. It took 6 months for me to get a response.
Wow.
So I reached out to them about 3 different times because it's a huge company in the Black hair care industry.
Okay.
They're behind a lot of brands like Shea Moisture, and it just goes on and on. And I told them I wanted to work with them.
Yeah.
And so in the beginning, they didn't believe me because they were just thinking like, who is this girl? Like, girl, do you have the capital for this?
Yes.
Like, and we finally got into business, contracted, and I just wanted to do it the right way for me.
Right.
Out the gate, because I'm thinking big. This is going to be global.
Yes.
And I don't want to have to go backwards and create a formula. So that's what I did, and I do all the shipping right now.
Yes.
On top of doing the marketing.
Yes.
Built my own website. Did my own designs. Those are things that in the beginning sometimes you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which is no stranger with the service-based business that's wearing the multiple hats, right?
Oh my
But
goodness.
when we talk about, I don't know if you've explored this aspect of how it becomes and transitioned transitions from you shipping it to someone else shipping it, or transitions from you marketing to someone else marketing. I guess that might be a part of just what you will naturally learn about. But I guess people may be wondering, and I'm wondering, when does it become the hands off where you're like, oh, the product is product, and I don't even really think about it? Or does that really happen?
No, that does happen. You eventually start building to that. And that happens when, you're making enough revenue to hire other people, to get a warehouse.
Yeah.
And now you've built a business.
Got it.
Where you can give people the instructions, they do it, they get it out, and you're good. You know? So that's the next step for me.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for giving us insight on that journey, because, just like people can be intimidated about building a service-based business and where to start and how to do it, I share insights on that on the podcast, but I don't have as much experience or expertise in the product-based business site, or space. So I'm excited to learn more about that. Okay. So let's talk about, marriage and health. This is something I'm excited to talk about with you, because you are actually, you're in your 30s. I'm not, you can say your age if you want, but you're in your 30s and you are a cancer survivor, which is pretty unique. And I know many of my patients who are in their 30s to 50s, women in particular, they're always asking me questions like, what should I be looking out for? What symptoms should I be looking out for? Or I'm concerned about this, but nobody's listening. Nobody thinks I could have anything because I'm young. So you are a cancer survivor while growing businesses. Tell me about that journey and share as much as you would like to share in that. But I would love for us to learn how you grew businesses in the season of battling cancer.
Yes. So, I am 35. I don't mind saying that. I'll be 36 on the 27th of July. But and I don't mind saying that, because by the grace of God, I am still here.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with cancer for the first time in 2008. I had just turned 20 years old.
Wow.
I was in college. And at the time, I had all these different symptoms going on, but getting diagnosed with the type of cancer, which was thyroid cancer, it answered a lot of questions as to why I was going through the things that I was going through. God allowed me to beat that. 2012, there was a reoccurrence. God allowed me to beat that as well. And so for me, my journey in finding out that I had cancer took a lot of advocating for me. I know you're a better doctor than the doctors that I dealt with at the time, but because I was so young, they just didn't believe I had anything.
Right.
And I literally had to, it started at 19 years old, sit in the doctor's office and advocate for a biopsy, because my ultrasounds at the time, 3 different ones, were saying that it was benign. They was like, there's no cancer. And so normally in that case, you go, well, the doctor said this, I'm going to move on. But there was a nudge on me, and I said, let me get a biopsy to make sure. And it was so painful, the nodule that I had in my neck, I at least wanted it to be removed.
Right.
And so to their surprise, it was stage 4 cancer.
Wow.
And it's one of the slowest growing cancers. And so I probably had it for about 2.5 years, they said.
What were some of your symptoms?
So this is the tricky part. Extremely tired. I was extremely fatigued.
Yeah.
I thought it was because I was working full time and going to school full time. Memory loss. I graduated with honors, and I literally started failing some of my college classes, like things I shouldn't be failing. I would study for weeks and weeks and weeks, go take the test, and it's gone. So memory loss, depression, change in weight, and those were the main things that stuck out for me.
Yeah.
Usually I'm the type of person, I can grind. If I got something to do, I can stay up to 3 a.m. and get it done.
Yeah.
At that time, as soon as I was tired, I was like, I got to lay down. I can't, I noticed that about me. I'm like, gosh, so I just thought I was overworked.
Yes.
The doctor said, you're overworked. You're doing all this stuff. You're young.
Yeah, young and busy.
Yeah. I was running the business at 19.
Right.
So I but I didn't listen to that. I listened to my body,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew something was wrong. Great, so thankful to know that those symptoms literally came from the type of cancer it was because of the
Yes.
thyroid affecting
Yes.
your emotions and hormones.
Yes.
So,
And those are some of the most, thank you for sharing that and being willing to share that on the podcast, because some of the most frequent symptoms that busy women 30s to 50s come into my practice with is concerns about fatigue, concerns about weight gain. And so often they've been brushed off of, oh, you got all these kids and you have a busy career, and if you just eat healthy and work out and get some good sleep, then you'll be fine. And having a quality primary care physician, I tell people, if you're the right fit for Inspire Primary Care, if you're not, having a quality physician that you don't necessarily have to be your own advocate, but where they want to advocate for you too, is just so important, and it can be
Yeah.
life-saving, right? And so thank you for sharing those symptoms, because other women may be listening and be like, I haven't had my thyroid checked. Get that TSH, get that T4. Those are standard labs that should be ordered with your primary care screening. If you have any
Yes.
masses in the neck, getting that ultrasound, seeing if the biopsy is needed. It's just so important.
and I will say, I started getting ear aches. Wasn't an ear infection. It was just I felt that ache in my ear. That wasn't my
Yeah.
thing either. So just in case.
Yeah, and ears, nose, and
Somebody-
throat are one channel. It's all
Exactly.
connected. So
Yeah.
really important. Thank you for sharing that. So we'll transition to love. Okay, so
Yes.
along this journey, you're fighting cancer, you're growing businesses, and you fall in love and you are married. And so
Yes.
many of the young, busy professional women, or not necessarily young, but busy women that I talk to are trying to figure out, how do I fit in love with all the ambitious things I have in my mind? Like, where does that fit in? Who's going to be the right person to want to support me being a boss in all these areas? Like, what type of man is going to be able to handle that and not be intimidated and be supportive and not hold me back or try to change me?
Yeah.
So tell me about the journey of, shout out to Tavon. So tell me about the journey of your husband and marriage and how that has worked in growing your businesses.
Woo. My husband is patient. He's very patient. Cause you go, okay, I want to get married, but you don't really understand the balance that you're going to have to find,
Yeah.
To have a happy marriage. And so, my husband met me, I was extremely ambitious. When we started dating, I was still ambitious. And so I had to go from staying up late at night, getting tasks done, because we enjoy that, right? It's liberating. We're like,
Yeah.
check,
Check.
got another thing
I
done.
love a
What else?
checklist.
Yeah, we love it. Like it's so liberating. So, there were times in the beginning where my husband was very patient, and he went to bed before I went to bed, but he understood, okay, she's grinding, but you do have to find balance. If you're going to bring another person in, you got to find balance.
Yeah.
And make sure there's time and you're attentive. And so that was something I caught on to, because I was like, nah, girl, this man is being patient, but don't get crazy.
Yes, there's a wedding and then there's a marriage. Like,
yeah. Like let's be attentive here. So I transitioned into that very well. It helped me find balance. And it helped me take the pressure off of myself with getting all this stuff done, because you're not going to conquer the world in one day.
Yes.
So and my husband was very patient. He would be like, "You tired?
Yeah.
You should go to sleep."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I actually started listening to that. So my bedtime went from like 1, 2 a.m. to now, girl, I'll be in the bed by like 10 o'clock.
You found out how to rest.
Yeah, I found out how to rest.
Yeah.
I did. So it's a beautiful thing, especially having Tavon's support. He's so supportive. Whatever I ask for, he's like, all right.
Yeah.
If he can do it, he's going to do it. If he don't feel like doing it, he'll tell me that too.
Yes.
But he's always very supportive. He pushes me. He's never been a dream killer.
Yes. That's so important.
I've experienced that, being with a dream killer is not fun.
Yes.
When you have all of these dreams. So, and then we inspire each other.
Yeah.
Because some days I got it, some days he got it, and I don't, and I have to pull on him.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing having that person in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would rest or sleep if I didn't have Carlos and Ava and Aaliyah. I just, would go like a Energizer
Yep.
rabbit.
Yep.
Like, and so I thank God for our families because they have taught me balance and rest as well, and how to think outside of myself and outside of my checklist. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I still love the grind. But
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I have fallen in love with the rest, and I'm like,
Yes,
oh wow, this is
yes.
the whole new love that I didn't know I needed in love.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm grateful.
So you are one of the funniest women I know. And I know we haven't cracked many jokes on the podcast just yet, but you are hilarious. And a reason I really like being around you is because I don't find myself to be like in a hilarious. I could be funny,
Yes,
but
you
not
can.
like a funny. It's like oh, that was funny. Okay. She's kind of fun. But you're like a laugh out loud, crack it up type of funny. And I like being around people that are like that because I'm not naturally like that, right? And so tell me about comedy and building your social media brands around being funny and being able to balance the funny and the professionalism, and like having the two separate things that have come together in your brand so beautifully.
I have to have comedy in my life. I just have to. That is my time to take the edge off. I
Yeah.
love helping other people take the edge off.
Yeah.
And you just gotta be able to laugh at life. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah.
it. Which now I'm gonna make this announcement on your podcast.
Okay, come on,
A
announcement.
lot of people don't know this, but I am getting ready to get into stand up.
Oh, I am not surprised by that. You are so funny. Let me know when the shows are. Tag me.
I will. I'm gonna be low key first, because I'm gonna get my feet wet.
I
gotta
get
respect
that. I want to ride up. I need to know
I
about the
know.
early show.
I know. You sound like LaDonna. She's like, let me know.
Yes.
But watching my husband Tavon do stand up
Yeah.
all these years, I've been able to really just study him and study other comedians, and we watch a lot of comedians at home, and the skits are funny.
Yeah.
But stand up is another beast.
Yeah, it is.
You don't get to edit. You got to get it right out the gate,
Yeah.
So it's going to be another challenge for me, but I'm ready to take it on.
Oh, you're going to kill that.
Yeah. And I'm scared. That's why I know it's going to work.
Yes, yes. Every new thing I do scares me,
Yeah.
including this podcast, okay?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's how I know. It's like, okay, God told me to do it. I'm scared to do it. I'm supposed to do that next. So
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
excited. You are good. And it's funny because the other people believe in you. Like, I'm over here like, duh. Like,
Yeah,
you're gonna
everybody.
kill that.
And we have to listen to those things in our life where when everybody around you's like, you
Yeah.
should be doing.
Yes.
Well, okay. You already know it's in you, but that's a plus.
Yeah.
When people around you are already like, come on, be ready. you know,
Right.
So
That is. Oh, you're going to
excited.
kill that. I'm
I'm
excited.
excited.
Okay. Social media branding. So you have a background in, tell me, marketing? You kill it. And what I love is I'll come around you and you'll be like, oh, you should do this for the business. You should try this on social media. And I'll be like, I didn't think of that. And I'll try it and I'll text you and be like, Cabria, I tried it. And people actually like it. And people actually said it was
Yeah.
funny. Like, and so
Yeah.
I love that. Like, you are so smart when it comes, like people may look at your stuff and think like, oh, it's just funny or it's comedic, but it's actually really strategic and well thought out. And
Very.
I love hearing about how you approach branding. So tell us any pearls, tips you can give the ladies who may be listening who want to utilize social media to grow their brands and businesses, but are intimidated or don't know where to start or don't know how to show their natural personality.
Oh my goodness. So, with my background in marketing, I love marketing because it sounds easy, but it's not. You really have to understand the climate. You have to understand your viewers. You got to understand and really understanding who you are.
Yes.
And being comfortable with that. The minute you try to start mimicking other people,
Yes.
you're gonna know you're not supposed to be doing it because it doesn't even feel right.
Right.
It doesn't even feel natural. So be you, right? That's the first thing. You got to be you. And then, share a little, but not too much.
Yeah.
Share a little bit though.
Yeah.
A little something
Yeah.
to make people feel like, oh, you're normal. You're like, yeah, you cool. This is a everyday person. You know,
Yes.
I don't have to feel like she's trying to be something that we've never seen.
Right.
You know? But for social media, I don't like to do things that really bash people. I like to keep it fun keep it light, keep it real, and honest. And for me, I think of different topics, but yeah, if you can add a little comedy sometimes, that helps, right? You remember
Cabria tried to tell me you should do some funny content. I said, girl, I'm not funny.
but not, because remember, what was that video you did with the weight?
Did I do something that was funny? I tried it out.
Where the person got on the scale, and I think that
Yes.
got over 500,000 views.
Yeah.
That was
I
such
had
a good one.
But I had to figure out ways to incorporate humor. And I wouldn't say funny, but some humor,
Just
in a
humor.
way that felt
Yeah.
natural for me. And what I love about what you're saying is really the authenticity
Mm-hmm.
of who you are. One of the best compliments I get when I see people out who are a part of our social media family is, man, you are like how you are in real life, like how
Yep.
you are on socials.
Yep.
And to me, that feels good because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to share parts of me and share my journey authentically. And I don't want to feel like a completely different people. I tell people, yo, I'm introverted. Like I talk a lot on socials, but I have to hype myself up for the social interactions in person. And then they see me and they're like, oh, she is a little socially awkward, but I see it. She must have did her deep breathing before.
Right.
Because she's talking to everybody.
Right,
So
right.
I like that people get it. Like they get it. And they said it feels like how it reflects through socials. And that feels good to be like, okay, I'm not two different people, although they don't see everything.
Yeah.
I hear people say like, well, I'm a private person, or I want to be a private person, but they want to grow a business. And I tell them, you can still be a private person. People may not know I share a lot, but I'm a private person. There are lots of aspects of my life I don't share. And there are certain ones where I'm like, these are things that are off limits to the camera. This is my camera free areas of my life. Right. And so I love the authenticity. Yes, comedy is funny, but there's certain dances I'll see on TikTok and I'm like, you're not going to see me dance like that. You're not going to see me do that because it's not authentic to me, but I'll look at other people's pieces of content and be like, I love that for them.
Even though you can dance, they better quit playing with you.
I can dance, but there's just certain things I'm not gonna be like. It just isn't gonna be authentic.
Yeah, and it has to fit your brand at
Right.
the end of the day. I definitely think you're doing very well in building the Jade brand.
Thank you.
People know it. You have to think about, what do I want people to get out of my content
Right.
when they come to my page.
Right.
And keep that at the forefront.
Yeah.
So I think with what you want people to get with the education
Yeah.
and the balance and health and marriage and as a mom
Yeah.
and a business owner of a practice, I think you display that very well.
So if y'all see a couple of humorous things, you'll know that Cabria encouraged me to sprinkle those in. But you're not gonna see me doing stand up, okay?
No.
All right. So thank you for the social media components. But what about, this is the question we ask everyone on the podcast, how are you balancing business and wellness in this season?
I am. I did fall off for a little minute. I did, but yeah, if I'm not taken care of, nothing else runs smoothly. So I'm making sure I'm getting my morning workouts in, because working out gives you energy.
Yes.
There's moments where I've just been so tired. Even in the middle of my day as a business owner, sometimes I don't have clients in the middle of my day and I go, I'm going to the gym just so I can get some energy
Yes.
to finish the rest of my task. I make sure I'm staying on top of my doctor's appointments, staying on top of my health. Same thing with my husband.
Yeah.
Make sure he's on it. And the days when maybe I'm like, I done fell off, he makes sure that I'm on it. So the balance from that era feels really good.
Good.
It feels really good. I feel like I'm at my best when I'm taking care of my physical body, my mental health, meditating.
Yes.
I get massages. I like to go to spas.
Come on.
Because we are not just working hard, we're playing hard.
Yes.
And
You like to vacation?
I love to vacation. Yeah, like you have to treat yourself at some point. You don't want to just be grind.
Yes.
And you didn't get nothing out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Then create no memories.
no memories. I spend my time with God, and that's just every day. I'm always, thank you, God. Acknowledging and giving the praise to God for everything that's happening, and constantly leaning on God, not just in the bad times, but in the good times too.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Well, thank you for being a woman who really, really inspires. I am so glad we were able to get just pieces of, there's so many things we could talk about and so much I could ask you, but I really appreciate you being here today Tell the She Inspires fam, where can they find you and learn more about your services and your products and more about all your amazing content?
Oh my goodness. So I do have several pages, but for my hair care line, you can find me at Love Your Roots Hair for my products, and you can see the progress of my clients and how well their hair is growing. And if you want to see my styles and my services, Cabria Lynn, CabriaLynn. And then if you just want to laugh, you can follow me at Cabria Anderson on Instagram and Cabria Patterson on Facebook.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I did. Okay.
I did, absolutely.
So drop a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on this episode. All right. Leave a review. Let us know how we're doing on the podcast. Share the podcast with other busy professional women in your life. And if you have a product or service that other busy professional women need to hear about, reach out to our team so you can sponsor an episode of the She Inspires podcast. And of course, join our social media fam on Instagram and YouTube at Dr. Jade MD. I will see you on the next episode of the She Inspires podcast.